So, Melvin, how are you coping with this virus and how's it affecting your training, as per se?
So yeah, like since the virus has happened, it's obviously put like football and life at a hold, and it's been tough mentally more than anything else. Like having a lot of spare time on your hands and just trying to improvise and find stuff to do. So yeah, it's difficult, but everyone's going through pretty much the same situation. So you just got to battle through it. What was the second question you asked?
How is it affecting your training, as per
Oh
se?
yeah, yeah. So in terms of training, obviously you're not allowed to train outside. So I'm literally having to improvise, and I've got a few like sort of facilities at home that I'm currently using, and yeah, that's all I can pretty much do. But I'm very, very limited, so I'm just gonna have to keep doing that and ticking over until football's back.
Fair enough. I'm guessing it's completely different because as you were on Soccer AM as well as being for Kings Langley, I bet two big jobs for you.
Yeah, yeah. Both of them are currently on hold at the moment, so yeah, just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I saw your performance against Deborah Bonlahor. Great save, by the way, when the 1-1.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you should be higher up in the leagues, in my opinion, with that.
A lot of people have that same opinion, but you know, football isn't always fair to a certain degree. So you have to work your way up, and if you do well wherever you're at, no matter what level you're at, you'll get opportunities. So just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I saw you, I think, live when you played Bam United away from home. And
Oh, that was yeah, start of the season. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you played phenomenal. I thought, geez, this guy should be National League North or South, even.
Thank
Not
you,
our league,
thank
but
you, thank you.
hey ho. Um, so, how do you think this virus will affect the future of football, really?
Just looking at it in the short term, like a lot of things are there's a lot of uncertainty. There's more questions than clarity. So I feel like potentially it could affect football beyond the summer and it could go into next season. And that's just down to like the main sort of shareholders in terms of football deciding whether they scrap the season for like the Premier League um, and and every other country below, or whether they just go into next season, or whether they carry on this season and go. There's a lot of questions also. It's it's affecting everyone, and literally we just have to wait and see what happens. We have to wait and see how the virus peaks first, and then go from there. And then obviously you got to bring in vaccinations as well. Like that's still a lot of like hard work to do. I just read something on Sky Sports regarding that, so the
Yeah,
future is very, very unclear at the moment.
yeah, it's a shame. Like now we going back to the game I saw you live. That's now a friendly in essence, really. Like
Yeah,
unfortunately, for the
exactly,
win,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
fair enough. Um, I was thinking, like, obviously, non-league was the first teams to announce the dissolving. Well, do you think the Premier League will dissolve?
It's a good question. I feel like with the Premier League, it's different because most of the revenue comes from like the TV sponsors and all of that sort of like that revenue comes in from like that being broadcasted around the world, like all the games being on TV and stuff. So I feel like it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It'll be very unfair for someone like Liverpool to be denied the league when they're 2 wins away from winning the league, and then versus someone like I think it's Aston Villa. If they win their next game, then they're out of the relegation zone.
Yeah,
So like, there's always going to be pros and cons for ever. There's for everyone. Like there isn't a one size fits all for everyone. So like, and also another disputing factor is not everyone's played the same amount of games.
mm,
So it's very, very hard to predict. Me personally, I would say end the season as it is, but that's just my own opinion. And Liverpool winning the league deserve to win the league based on how well they've done. And then Aston Villa, if they are in the bottom three, which I think they are, they get relegated. But that's just my own opinion. There's always going to be. I think at the end of the day, if the season doesn't go on and the people at the top that make that decision, there's going to be a few people out there that don't agree with it. So it's a
yeah,
tough one, a tough, tough one.
fair enough. Enough about this virus, this dreadful virus. I saw your mini, like, I guess, a day in the life of you when you did it with Rising Ballers. You get up very early at 6:30 to do training.
All the time, all the time. Even if I've got nothing to do for the whole day, all the time, every single 5 times a day, 5 times a week minimum, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Well, you have to. Well, no wonder you're good.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
So I also read that you're from obviously Tottenham. I hope you're not a Tottenham fan, are you, by any chance?
No, it's quite ironic. I'm a Chelsea supporter, so my
Oh,
family
you're a
support.
Chelsea fan. I'm an Arsenal fan,
Yeah.
so
Okay. Yeah, I'm a Chelsea
I forgive you.
supporter.
So the last question I've got for you really is obviously you've got a strong leader at the back with you, Lloyd Doyley. How does it feel to play alongside a former Premier League star, really?
Yeah, like it's been an amazing experience playing with Doyley this season because like he's played at the highest level possible for a very long time, and it just shows that how much quality he has in terms of him being a player playing at the top level for a long time. Because I feel like a lot of people think that making it into the game is the hardest part. I feel, me personally, I feel like sustaining it at the top level, like the Messis and the Ronaldos, why they're so good is because they've sustained that type of level week in, week out,
Mm.
season out, year in, year out. So, like playing with Doyley, it's been amazing, and he's just giving me advice, and I'm always willing to learn. And also on the pitch and off the pitch, like getting advice on how to look after myself, how to make sure that I prepare in the best possible way. Like it's been something that I've been grateful for, and yeah, Doyley's been amazing to work with.
I'm guessing he's the best player you played with or against, or
He's up there in terms of the best because I played in a few academies like previously in the past. I played with a lot of top players that's gone on to have successful careers. So like yeah, Doyley is up there in terms of the best players that I've played with and against. So yeah.
finally, obviously you're younger than Lloyd, and he's like I'm guessing in his mid 30s odd, and
Yeah,
he's
he's
still,
pushing late 30s.
yeah,
Yeah,
well he's
late.
still at that level, high level, considering like you would expect him. Like I know Ebanks Blake played for Barwell, which was in Bamberg last season.
Yeah.
Um, obviously he's now I think in his early 30s. How would you think that he's surviving in that level, age late 30s, and still going? Do you see yourself sustaining that level, or would you drop lower when you get too late
Are you talking about myself or in regards to Doyley?
yourself?
Oh, so like with myself, I feel like goalkeepers there's a different dynamic with goalkeepers and players. Goalkeepers can play to a longer age. So like I give you an example, Buffon, he's still playing at the highest level possible. He's 42 years of age. And I've just turned 25 years of age. So like say for example, I break into the game this year, that could potentially be 15 years in the game. Like if I look after myself and I perform and I do the right thing. So like me personally, I see myself breaking into the game and sustaining it within the game. But that comes with me having to look after myself and me having to do the right things and stay disciplined and stuff. So yeah, like I feel like goalkeepers, there's a different dynamic to it. Goalkeepers play later. That's probably why goalkeepers break into the game later. You don't see a lot of at the highest level. You don't see a lot of young goalkeepers playing week in, week out. There's the very few like the Jordan Pickfords, the Dean Hendersons, Donnarumma, AC Milan, but most goalkeepers are all experienced goalkeepers, like 29, 30 years of age. So I feel like goalkeepers peak later into the game and stay later in the game. So yeah, that is like Buffon, looking at him as a role model, like that is my sort of aim to play until 40 years plus. So I just have to wait and see what happens.
So is Buffon your role model then?
Yeah. He's one of the biggest role models that I've looked up to. And I feel like he's the best goalkeeper of his generation, in my opinion. And for him to still be playing at Juventus at 42 years of age is a testament to his quality and his work ethic and his like the way he's looked after himself. And he's also evolved because he's come from a generation where there was like Oliver Kahns, the Peter Schmeichels, like different types of goalkeepers to the
Yeah.
modern day goalkeeper now. And he's now evolved himself into a similar type of a modern day goalkeeper. So like as the years go past, you have to evolve and adapt to what the game is being given to you, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's all part of the process.
So you said you were a Chelsea fan. Do
Yeah.
you, do you rate your current keeper Kepa?
Um. Uh. Me personally, I feel like this is his second season, yeah. And last season he had a very strong season in his first season, and this season there has been question marks over like some of the goals that he's conceded and stuff. But I feel like Me personally, I think he's a decent goalkeeper, and he's still got a few attributes that he needs to work on. But he is far from his best. Like he's far from his peak. I think he's 25 as well, 26. He's only a year older than me. He's a 94. So like he is a long way away from his peak. So I feel like he's adapted to the English game, and he's done very, very well and set high standards. And now this season he's gone through a bit of a mixed sort of season, and now it's down to him to bounce back and show people why Chelsea invested that money into him. So me personally, I think he's a decent keeper that can get better like in years to come.
I thought you were going to say you would see yourself in the sticks.
You
Or
never
do you
know.
think when Willie will retire, you'll take over as second choice?
You never know. You never know in football. Like you never know in life. So you just gotta keep persevering, and you just never know. You just never know.
Yeah, it's incredible how non-league can like make a player in essence.
Yeah.
I expect personally you probably in the League One, League Two side by next season, this time next year, hopefully.
Thank you. Hopefully.
Maybe Oxford United might offer you a place back. Oh, we made a decision.
Yeah. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that I can't reveal. So
of course,
when football is back up and running, then just have to wait and see what happens. So yeah.
Well, if you end up leaving Kings Langley, it was lovely to watch you play. Great performance.
How many games did you watch? Just the one game then?
What, Kings Langley?
No, but yeah, this season, yeah.
I only watched the Bambury one because I board at a school in Oxford. The school in Banbury, and they were playing Kings Langley, and I was going to go to the home game, Kings Langley v Banbury, the one just before it got cancelled.
Yeah. Oh, so you live in Oxford then?
Well, I board in Oxford, but I live in Watford, Rickmansworth area.
Oh, you live in Watford. Okay. To be fair, like looking back on that game at the start of the season, it was ages ago, but I don't even feel like we even played that well. I felt like we done a professional job on them, because going into that game, I think Banbury were flying in terms of the league, like early league form. Yeah. So like we game plan to try and combat their sort of playing style, and yeah, just thankfully like we just rid a bit of the storm, and we got a professional job done, and we got the result. So yeah, that was an enjoyable game. It was tough, but it was good experience. So yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting because I was messaging a few of the Banbury fans saying I'm talking to Kings Langley's goalkeeper. Like, yeah. Oh God, don't mention the result. He's going to be delighted that he did so well.
Yeah. I felt like if had the season had gone on as normal and this virus situation never came in, we would like the way we've been in the second half of the season at Kings Langley, we were quietly confident going into that game at home that we would have got another positive result. So yeah, like these things happen, but it's just part of life. You just have to move on, really.
So do you play full time for Kings Langley, or do you?
So Kings Langley were part time. So I was training full time away from them, and then doing like my soccer AM stuff before a game on a Saturday, and then playing on a Saturday, and then training with them during the week. So yeah, it was a tough schedule, but it's all part of the process to help me to progress.
Yeah, because I got so confused in a way. Like when I saw that video documentary, you didn't mention Kings Langley. I thought, oh God, I've put that.
Yeah, no. The reason why was because there was so much stuff that I was supposed to mention, but they Rising Ballers wanted to keep it in a 8 or 9 minute time frame, so I couldn't actually put everything that I needed to put within the video. Otherwise, the video would have went much longer. So yeah, there was a lot of things that I actually missed out of the video that I couldn't put in, but yeah, like that's all it is, really.
Yeah, it was fascinating to see like you training obviously at 6:30 in the morning, and I recognised the ground actually because that was Hashed United's like.
Yeah.
And
it's right. It's close to where I live. It's about 10 minutes drive from where I live, so that's my closest local facility that I train on very regularly.
So do you just train on your own that early in the morning, or do you have some?
Yeah, because that's the only time when the facility's free, and also I can work on things that I can't work on if I'm with other people. So distribution is a massive part of like being a goalkeeper. So I feel like at that time nobody's around, I can work on distribution on my own, and then when I need to do like other stuff in terms of like crosses or shot stopping or other goalkeeping related stuff, I can always involve other people in, and that's what I do later during the day. But in the morning when I need to do distribution, I know a lot of goalkeepers, but I don't know a lot of goalkeepers that live close to me that I could do that with. So it's like that's me having to improvise and do it on my own so that I can get that done. Then my distribution deteriorates, and I need that to add to my game in order to help me. So that's pretty much the reason why behind it.
Oh, thanks. One last question. What advice would you give to young goalkeepers?
Yeah, I get asked this question quite a lot. So 3 pieces of advice. One advice would be look at the top goalkeepers, like the world-class goalkeepers. So like the Allisons, Edisons, the Stegens, at them individually and what they do, sort of decision making on and off the ball. Look at their concentration levels and like their organization skills, them little key details, like the basics and the fundamentals of being a goalkeeper. And yeah, like there's a app that I use called Y Scout, and it's like it looks at any player in the world like individually, and it's just individual clips. So like, I look at it very, very regularly, and I look at the top goalkeepers, and I just try and implement what they do and what makes them successful into my own game. The second thing I'd say is always be open to learning. So like no matter how old you are, whether you're 18 or 35 years of age, you can always learn, you can always get better, you can always persevere. So you always, in football and in life, you work with many different people that you agree with, people that you won't agree with. So it's all part of the process. Like always be open to learning, and you might find like something that's valuable from certain different types of people. And the third thing is you have to put all of this practice into action. So you have to be putting in graft, dedication. You need to be disciplined. You need to persevere and work at your own game and look at your strengths and your weaknesses, and just try and also get like honest feedback from people and know where you stand in terms of football and where you're trying to get to. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty much my 3 pieces of advice.
Thanks a lot, Melvin, for this. I'm much appreciated.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, I'll let you know once it